All-time hits, ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan, Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 4.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Cool News at 4. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has urged Kingdom of Jesus Christ, founder of all people like to show up and face the cases filed against him, noting that authorities are just following the law. In an unabashed interview on Wednesday, Marcos also asked why Kibuloy's camp has been questioning the motives of people behind the 10 million peso reward for the pastor's arrest when the government and its citizens are only looking to have laws implemented. Interior Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr. said private individuals offered a 10 million peso reward for Kibuloy's arrest due to outstanding human trafficking and child sexual abuse warrants. He can question their private individual motives as much as they want, but makita sila, but he has to show up. Marcos said after the impounding process ceremony at the Wawa Dam in Ortigas, Rizal. Let me question his motives. Why do they always question us? We only follow the law. He should also follow the law too. Also, that's it. He added in Filipino. The president did not mention Kibuloy, but the KGC founder's lawyer, Ferdinand Topacio, on Tuesday said the reward is wrong on so many levels. But Marcos said he does not see any problem with that. Bakit hindi? Why not? They want to help us bring a fugitive to justice. You know, he's a fugitive. He is hiding from the law, the chief executive said. Now, if there are private citizens who want to assist the government in that effort to bring him to justice, I do not see any problem, he added. According to Abalos, another 1 million peso reward was raised for those who could pinpoint the whereabouts of Kibuloy's co-accused, namely Resende Canada, Pauline Canada, Ingrid Canada, Savia Semanas, and Jacqueline Lynn Roy. Abalos, however, declined to name the donors, saying that the individuals were just frustrated with the lack of developments in Kibuloy's case. Kibuloy is facing sexual abuse and trafficking charges. The cases were transferred from the regional trial courts of Davao and Pasig cities to the Quezon City Court. Former President Rodrigo Duterte, the televangelist's longtime ally, said in a previous briefing that he knows where Kibuloy is hiding, but preferred to keep it secret. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said that his family and the Aquinos, considered bitter rivals since the 1970s, have always been okay outside of politics. Marcos on Wednesday was asked about an Instagram post made by his wife, First Lady Liza Arianda Marcos, where Joshua and Bimpi Aquino were shown to be visiting her. Joshua and Bimpi are sons of celebrity Chris Aquino, whose parents, former Senator Benigno Nino Aquino and former President Corazon Cory Aquino, fought the two-decade rule of Marcos' father, former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Well, we have always been okay. We just don't agree politically, Marcos said of the Marcos-Aquino relations. Marcos said the two families had links even though they were on different sides of the political fence up to the presidency of Chris' brother, former President Benigno Noynoy Aquino. Maliwanag naman yung last part of until the presidency of Noynoy, talagang we were on other sides of the political, the president recalled. The reason na pinuntahan nila si First Lady ay simple lamang. Nang galangan si, I think it was Chris Aquino who needed some assistance for something, he said. But what the reports did not say is that Lisa is their aunt. Dahil ang kanyang auntie ay napang-asawa si Dong Pepe, the eldest brother of Cory. So they are related, Marcos explained. Kaya't hindi naman nakakapagtaka kailangang kilalang kilala nila yung mga mapangkin nila very well. So that, and so they came at nagbiyahe sila. Bumalik may dalang paksalubong, he narrated. When pressed further, Marcos said Chris asked for help regarding travel arrangements, noting that it was a fine gesture from the Aquino family to thank his wife. I think it was just to help them for their travel arrangements. So tumulong si First Lady at yun lang. Sabi lang, mapapasalamat sila. And so I think it was a very fine gesture on the part of the Aquino family, he observed. I think it was sort of, I suppose, put a little more, how do you say, personal human interaction between our families, he added. While the Marcoses and the Aquinos have been on opposite ends of the political spectrum, members of the two clans have similar backgrounds. Both sides perished. Marcos Sr. and Ninoy studied at the University of the Philippines, were members of UP's Upsilon Sigma Phi fraternity and served in the Senate. In one instance, celebrated talk show host Chris also interviewed then Congressman Bongbong Marcos to explain their side. During the interview, Chris said that she and Bongbong are actually godparents to then Isabella Mayor Boji Dice Chow. Marcos Jr. and the First Lady also paid their respects to former President Cory, who died in August 2009 due to colon cancer complications. The suspects in the stabbing of a student at the University of the Philippines, Diliman in Quezon City, have been arrested, police said on Wednesday. The suspects, both males aged 14 and 15, were arrested following a manhunt operation in Barangay Cruz na Ligas on Tuesday night, according to Quezon City Police District Chief Brigadier General Rico Manaran. He also said both suspects were positively identified by the victim, who sustained injuries after resisting the robbery hold-up suspects. The victim's relative reported the incident to QCPD Station 9. China's claim that it allowed the medical evacuation of a Navy personnel stationed in Agusan Secretary Shoal is ridiculous, Commander J. Tarela, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, said on Wednesday. Torella made the response to Chinese state tabloid Global Times report that Beijing allowed the medical evacuation of personnel in PRP Sierra Madre upon Manila's request. On July 7, at the request of the Philippines, the Chinese side allowed the Philippines to send a sick person from the illegally grounded warship on Ayungin Shoal based on humanitarian considerations, said Global Times in a post on X. In direct response to this, Tarela said the claim made by the People's Republic of China that they have permitted a medical evacuation for sick Navy personnel in order to present themselves as humanitarian while asserting their authority to allow such operation to be carried out in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone is ridiculous. The China Coast Guard on Sunday tried but failed to block the medical evacuation of a Navy personnel in PRP Sierra Madre, Tarela said on Tuesday. This statement further confirms their illegal deployment of vessels within our exclusive economic zone and highlights their government's view that the preservation of human life and welfare requires approval, Tarela said. Evidently, the deployment of numerous boats to delay the medical evacuation for hours just shows that they have a low regard for a humanitarian mission, he added. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. believes the updated rules on criminal investigation procedures will usher in a new era of law enforcement and prosecution. This is because winnable cases will be pursued while malicious arrests will be avoided. Marcos expressed this optimism on Wednesday in Mandaluyong during the signing of the 2024 Department of Justice National Prosecution Service DOJ NPS rules on preliminary investigation and inquest proceedings. He said that the new guidelines will remove the court's backlog brought by the pursuit of weak cases. The 2024 DOJ-NPS rules are transformative as they institutionalize the executive and inquisitorial nature of preliminary investigation, bringing them in line with historical and legal precedents that reinforce the authority of the DOJ, he explained. Through this, all prosecutors are now empowered to take the lead in criminal investigations, ensuring that there is proper and sufficient case built up before filing in court, he noted. We are all stepping into the new era of law enforcement and prosecution. And knowing that from here onwards, every case we handle, every decision we make, every reform we champion will impact the lives of every single Filipino, and it will shape the future of the country, he added. According to Marcos, requiring a higher standard of evidence would not only ensure that cases filed by prosecutors are winnable, but at the same time provide protection to people who may be facing frivolous suits. The new rules elevate the quantum of evidence from probable cause to prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction, the president said. This means that only strong cases are brought to trial, reducing frivolous suits and malicious prosecutions that clog our courts, he said. Veering away from the procedures that were more rigid, the new procedure now allows the submission of additional documents, enabling a more comprehensive examination of the case, Marcos told the audience. The inquest proceedings also improve, providing a detailed process, process for handling warrantless arrest, including the filing of referral letters, submission of required evidence, provisional determination of arrest validity, and submission of lacking evidence, he added. Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque lobbied on behalf of raided Filipino offshore gaming operator Lucky Star 99, according to Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation Chief Alejandro Tanco. Speaking before the Senate panel on Women's Wednesday hearing on POGOs, Tanco said Roque served as the legal counsel of Lucky Star 99, a suspected illegal poker firm in Porac. According to Tanco, the former presidential spokesperson called his office in July 2023 asking if he could have an appointment with Pagor. So noon pong ika-26 ng Hulyo 2023, nagkaroon ng pagtataon na bumisita po sa aking tanggapan sa Pagor. Noon pong nasa Armita pa kami, sila po ay nabigyan ng appointment at sila po ay dumating sa aking tanggapan, sa Tanco. Tanco said Roque was with Cassandra Leong of Lucky Star 99, adding that they were seeking to settle the license and unpaid arrears of the firm. Prior to this revelation, Packard had already disclosed that a former high-ranking company official had been lobbying for the granting of license to illegal pokos, which have been recently raided. But now, Tanco insisted that Roque did not pressure Packard to grant a license to Lucky Star 99. Sila din lang po ay nakikiusap na kung maaari lang ay matulungang si Cassandra Ong. So hindi pa po sila follow up noon, Santanco. Uulitin ko rin po, hindi po naman nila ako pini-pressure. Kupangga bilang abogado sigurado bilang kilinyente nila. Nagfa-facilitate lang sila at nakikiusap lang sila, he added. Later into the hearing, attorney Jessa Fernandez of Pacor said Roque reached out to her office 6 times. One of these instances includes Roque asking which documents are still needed for the Poco Hub to be granted a license. Anim lang po, ma'am. Bailey tatlong nasagot, dalawang hindi nasagot, and then nung May 14, 2024 po, in-inform ko po sila sa decision namin na i-deny ang application ng Lucky Star dahil nakakita na kami ng ebidensya ng rason para hindi na po talaga sila bigyan ng licensure at that time, said Fernandez. Inquirer.net has sought Roque's comment on Pogo's pronouncements, but he has yet to respond. And the Department of Health has advised the public not to entertain texts or calls from malicious individuals who are posing as health officials to ask for money. According to the DOH advisory on Monday, the posters are personating Health Promotion Bureau Directors Laura Angela DC, Saison Garcia, and Ronnie Desmond Daniel M. Cardsa. These cameras are using the mobile number 0965 603 0038. DDOH clarifies that this mobile number is not in any way associated with the HPP or with directors Saison Garcia and Garza, the agency said. The DOH also reminded the public that any transaction done through the mobile number is illegal and to seek information from legitimate sources and official platforms of the agency. The DOH also issued another advisory on Monday concerning individuals posing as Health Human Resource Development Bureau Director Johanna Bunson. The agency warned the posters that they would face criminal charges if they continue their scams. When we return here on koolNews at 4, ex-President Duterte wants military police to kill me, says Asirto. Alice Guo's sister also had another identity, Senate hearing reveals. Access to oral care and dental health is a human right, says CHR Commission on Human Rights. AFP confirms passage of Chinese aircraft carrier in Philippine Sea is concerning. And in international headlines, Samsung's South Korea Samsung Union declares indefinite strike. Stick around, we will be right back. It is now 17 minutes after 4. Welcome back. This news channel Eduardo Sirto on Wednesday claimed that former President Rodrigo Duterte wanted the military and the police to kill him due to his move to have former presidential economic advisor Michael Yang and Alan Lim investigated because of their alleged link to illegal drug trade. Acerto worked at the Philippine National Police Drug Enforcement Group. Ako rin po ang paherong Police Colonel Eduardo Acerto na matagal na pinapaharap at pinapapatay ni Pagulong Duterte sa military at kapwa ko police. As Acerto told lawmakers during the House Committee on Dangerous Drugs hearing. Pinapapatay po ako ni Duterte dahil tatlisod ko at pinaiimbestigahan ko si Michael Yang at Alan Lim na malapit nilang kaibigan ni Bongo, he added. Based on reports, Acerto prepared a confidential report about Yang and Lim in August 2017. Back then, Acerto said he submitted the report to former PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde, former Senator Richard Godon, and former Executive Secretary Salvador Midalde, hoping the government would act on his information favorably, but nothing happened. The stack of police official also prepared a 9-minute video that detailed his supposed involvement of Yang and Lim in the operations of Clandestine Shabu laboratories in Davao and Cagayan de Oro cities and their connection with alleged Chinese drug lord Johnson Chua. As Acerto said, he also informed Duterte, then special advisor to the president and now senior Christopher Bongo, and then PNP chief and now Senator Ronald De La Rosa about Yang and Lim's alleged involvement in the illegal drug trade. Acerto was dismissed from the police service over the alleged sale of AK-47 assault rifles to communist rebels. He also claimed that 5 armed men reportedly abducted one of his fellow police officers at the lobby in Balocod in 2017. Inquiry.net sought Duterte's site through former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque, but he has yet to respond as a posting time. Before Acerto revelation, the panel cited Yang for contempt and ordered his arrest for repeatedly refusing to attend the lower chambers probe into a September 2023 drug bust in Pampanga. Like suspended Bamba Mayor Alice Guo, her sister Sheila also used a different identity when she applied for a National Bureau of Investigation clearance, an official told a Senate hearing on Wednesday. An ongoing investigation by the Senate Committee on Women into illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators POGOs revealed that the suspended mayor has three siblings, namely Sheila, Seaman, and Wesley. Except for Seaman, all siblings applied for an NBI clearance in 2021, according to Attorney Angelito Macno, the agency's Assistant Director for Information, Communication, and Technology Service. Sabay-sabay po silang nang apply. They all applied at the same time, Macno said, referring to Alice, Sheila, and Wesley. Another revelation, however, is that there is another Sheila Guo in the NBI records. At meron rin po tayong naghanap na isa pa pong NBI clearance sa aming files na nagagalan din po Sheila Guo Lil. Macno continued. Subalit sa ating pagkukumpara ay lumabas po na iba rin ang larawan nito kaysa dun po sa Sheila Guo sa sinangsabing kapatid, he added. NBI reported earlier that there was an Alice Guo who obtained a clearance in 2005. Macno said they were still locating Sheila, who had an address on Calangtiwao Street, Project 8 in Quezon City. Citing the similarities in the conflicting NBI records of sisters Alice and Sheila, Senator Rizal Ontiveros then raised the possibility that their brother Wesley might also be using another identity. But Macno said they were still checking their database. So far po kasi yung Sheila pa lang yung nakuha namin. Yung Wesley, hinahanap pa lang namin, he said. The NBI official later agreed with some lawmakers' observation that there is already a systematic scheme of identity theft in the country. Alice Gould has been at the center of the probe for supposed ties to Polko firms in her town in Pavan, Thailand. More than just a simple health issue, access to oral care and dental health is also a situation that every person is entitled to have, the Commission on Human Rights (CHR) said on Wednesday. The Commission remains firm that access to oral health is a human rights issue. Across the globe, it is evident that dental services are still disproportionately limited, especially for the vulnerable populations, the CHR said. A rights-based approach to every Filipino's access to safe and affordable public health service is incumbent upon the duty bearers to ensure that policies and mechanisms are in place for a stable health system structure, it added. The CHR made this statement following the pronouncement of Speaker Martin Romualdez that the House of Representatives will pass laws providing proper dental care in cities and municipalities nationwide. Proactively, the House of Representatives of the 19th Congress is advancing legislation to ensure every city and municipal health unit includes a dental service as part of its primary healthcare offering. He said during the 150th convention of the Philippine Dental Association. A Chinese aircraft carrier passed through the Philippine Sea, the Armed Forces of the Philippines confirmed on Wednesday. AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla also called concerning the deployment of a Chinese carrier strike group there. The AFP remains committed to safeguarding our maritime interests and ensuring the security of our nation's territorial waters through continued vigilance, Padilla said in a statement. And a union representing tens of thousands of workers at Samsung Electronics in South Korea said Wednesday it will extend a 3-day strike indefinitely in a bid to force management to negotiate. This strike is the biggest labor action in the tech giant's history and steps up pressure on the chip maker's management, who last week predicted a large second quarter operating profit increase. We declare a second indefinite general strike from July 10 after learning that the management has no willingness to talk, the National Samsung Electronics Union said in a statement. More than 5,000 members stopped working Monday for what was meant to be a 3-day strike, part of a long-running battle over pay and benefits. The move follows a 1-day walkout in June, the first such collective action at the company, which went decades without unionization. The union has more than 30,000 members, more than a fifth of a company's total workforce. Samsung told AFP Wednesday that the strike would not affect production. Samsung Electronics will ensure no disruptions occur in the production lines, a spokesperson told AFP. The company remains committed to engaging in good faith negotiations with the union, but the union said it had confirmed clear disruption in production and added that the longer the strike went on, the more the management will suffer. Eventually, they will kneel and come to the negotiation table. We are confident of victory, it added in a statement. The union blamed Samsung management for obstructing the strike, saying they did not appear willing to engage in dialogue. It urged more workers to participate, including those who are still hesitant. Your determination is needed to advance our goals and victory. Let us unite our strength to protect our rights and create a better future. The union has been locked in negotiations with management since January, but the two sides have failed to narrow differences. Workers have rejected the offer of a 5.1% pay hike, with the union having previously outlined demands including improvements to annual leave and transparent performance-based bonuses. The impact of the strike depends on various factors such as duration of the strike, accordingly lost days of production, and recouped strategy, Neil Shah, research vice president at Counterpoint Research, told AFP. He added that it was also important how Samsung management has prepared, knowing this could happen, and already have simulated the solutions to solve this quickly. Samsung Electronics managed to avoid having its employees unionized for almost 50 years, sometimes adopting fewer serious tactics, according to critics, while rising to become the world's largest smartphone and semiconductor manufacturer. Company founder Lee Byung-chul, who died in 1987, was adamantly opposed to unions, saying he would never allow them until I have dirt over my eyes. The first effective labor union at Samsung Electronics was formed in 2019. Soon after, Lee Jae-yong, the founder's grandson and current chairman of Samsung Electronics, declared an end to the firm's no-union principle in 2020. Samsung's labor policy failed to meet the demands of changing times. Lee, then Samsung's vice chairman, said. All right, coming up with business news, Asian markets mix after Wall Street records. Vacuum maker Dyson warns of 1,000 UK jobs to be cut, according to the source. RUD moves closing Brussels plants as EV demand flutters. And in global headlines, Mountain in Kiev as rescuers clear Rumple from Children's Hospital. In tech news, dark web monitoring is coming soon to all Google users, not just Google One subscribers, but all Google users. And in entertainment news, Grammy Museum to launch K-pop exhibit celebrating Hippie. Big Time Rush announces debut Asia Tour Manila 17th of October at New Frontier Theater. And Jenny Lynn Mercado, Dennis Trillo to set up their own production company. Stick around, we still have a lot of time to cover until 5 p.m., so we will be right back. Welcome back. If you have just joined us for koolNews at 4, here are the headlines that we have covered so far. Marcos urges Cuba to show up, face cases. Aquino's visit at human interaction between our families according to Marcos. Police arrest two minors for alleged stabbing in UP Diliman. China claims it allowed medevac in West Philippine Sea. Updated criminal prop rules will ban filing of frivolous suits, according to Marcos. Harry Roque lobbied for raided Pogo Hub. DOH warns fake health officials soliciting donations. Ex-President Duterte wants military police to kill me, says Aserto. Alice Guo says also had another identity, said hearing reveals. Access to oral care and dental health is a human right, according to says Commission on Human Rights. AP confirms passage of Chinese aircraft carrier in Philippine Sea concerning. And South Korea's Samsung union declares indefinite strike. All right. Now let's continue with the headlines. Asian markets diverged Wednesday after fresh records on Wall Street and remarks by the Fed chief that hinted the U.S. Central Bank would cut interest rates later this year, without offering a clear time frame. With Europe's main stock market were dragged down Tuesday by political uncertainty in France, the S&P 500 and SQ in the United States edged to all-time highs. The records came after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell pointed to modest progress in a battle to bring down inflation. Although his Senate testimony did not indicate when cuts may come, analysts are predicting the first in September and the second before year's end. Fed Chair Powell's testimony overnight was pervaded with a somewhat dovish tone, mentioning that the Fed was confronted with two side risks. Alvin Tan of RBC Capital Markets said in a note. He suggested that the Fed's reaction function is shifting to an easing bias given the significantly cooling labor market, but he nonetheless declined to offer a clear timeline on rate cuts. In any event, the market has been pricing in almost two full Fed rate cuts this year, and Powell's statements didn't shift those expectations much, Tang added. Powell is set to testify before our House committee on Wednesday, and investors will also be eyeing U.S. consumer inflation data due Tuesday for further insight that price rises are still easing as hoped. Thursday's CPI data could be crucial in determining whether the probability of the September rate cut increases further from the current 70%, said SBI Asset Management's Stephen Innes. In Asia on Wednesday, Hong Kong stocks rose about 1% in morning trade, with Alibaba Group contributing the most to the index gains, according to Bloomberg. China consumer prices edged up 0.2% on year in June. Official data showed Wednesday, but fell short of analyst expectations, everywhere down from May's 0.3% increase. While the world's second largest economy emerged from a period of deflation in February, prices have grown at a modest rate, in contrast to other major economies which have seen prices soar. Wei Sihang of Pinpoint Asset Management said with weak domestic demand and fiscal spending and a high real interest rate, the risk of deflation in China has not disappeared. China relies on exports to be a key driver for growth in the first half of this year. In the long term, China will need a rebound of domestic demand to drive the economy, he said. If the Fed does cut rates in September, he added, China's central bank could follow suit. Tokyo stocks rose, as did Wellington, Singapore, Jakarta, and Kuala Lumpur. Shanghai and Taipei were mostly unchanged, while Sydney executive Hanno Kerner on Tuesday announced changes to the vacuum makers organization that could result in job losses in Britain. A source close to the matter added that around 1,000 out of 3,500 UK employees could be impacted by the change. Created by inventor James Dyson, the Singapore-based company, its product include also hair dryers and air purifiers. We have grown quickly, and like all companies, we review our global structures from time to time to ensure we are prepared for the future, Kurtner said in a statement. As such, we are proposing changes to our organization which may result in redundancies. He added that Dyson operates in increasingly friends and competitive global markets in which the pace of innovation and change is only accelerating. German luxury car maker Audi said Tuesday is considering closing its Warsaw plant making electric vehicles due to a global decline in demand for high-end electric cars. The manufacturer, whose parent company is Volkswagen, said it is weighing up the end of early production of its Q8 e-tron models at the factory. Managements are discussing solutions for the Brussels site, and this may also include a recession of operations if no alternative is found, it said in a statement. The site employs about 3,000 people. All these cited a global decline in customer orders in the electric luxury class segment as a reason. After investing heavily in the shift to electromobility in recent years, automakers have been hit hard in recent times by slowing demand for electric vehicles. Volkswagen, whose 10 brands also include Porsche, Seat, and Skoda, said closing the Brussels plant or finding alternative use for it, as well as other unplanned expenses, would have an impact of as much as 2.6 billion euros or $2.8 billion in the 2024 fiscal year, or financial year, I'm sorry. As a result, the car giant lowered its forecast for operating returns this year to 6.5 to 70% from 7.0 to 75. I'm sorry, I'm going to correct that. 6.5 to 7.0% from 7.0 to 7.5% previously. As well as the slowdown in demand for electric cars, all these cited long-standing structural challenges at the Brussels site. These include a plant layout that is hard to change and high logistics costs. A consultation process will now be carried out about the next steps of these said. The announcement of the intention does not mean that a decision has been made, said Volker German, CEO of Audi Brussels. Nevertheless, this news has been felt very profoundly by the employees in Brussels. Rika Beck, spokeswoman for the Audi Committee in the European VW Group Works Council, said Aldi's top representatives were calling for long-term prospects for the plant and our colleagues in Brussels. Aldi management must take responsibility for the site. In the first quarter of this year, Volkswagen reported a more than 20% fall in profits with deliveries of more expensive models, including Audi's slipping. And now for the global headlines, rescue workers cleared debris as hurricane observed a day of mounting Tuesday after Russian strikes shattered a children's hospital in Kiev and sparked international condemnation. President Volodymyr Zelensky said 43 people were killed across Ukraine by a barrage of nearly 40 missiles that targeted several towns and cities early Monday. Officials announced a day of mourning in the capital with flags at hub, mask, and entertainment events postponed, as cranes and first responders worked at the Koymatyet Pediatric Hospital. Zelensky said rescue work was ongoing at several of the attack sites and that patients from Okhmatyet have been transferred to other facilities. We will restore Okhmatyet, Zelensky said during his evening address. The Interior Ministry said it had completed its search for survivors at the hospital, adding that 2 people have been killed there and 32 wounded. 8 children were hospitalized, it said. At the time of the attack, 627 children were in the hospital, military authorities and Kiev added. The president has been urging allies to bolster Ukraine air defense systems and vote to renew those blasts after touching down in Washington for the NATO summit. We are doing and will always do everything to make the Russian terrorists loose, Zelensky announced in a video statement, saying he would be asking allies for more fighter jets and additional security guarantees during the meeting. In another speech to a think tank, Zelensky thanked Kiev's backers for a new air defense package unveiled Tuesday at a NATO summit and urged the United States and others to go further to help defeat Russia. The attack was roundly condemned by governments across Europe and North America, while Pope Francis voicing grave sorrow over the strikes. Russia also came under fire at the U.S. Security Council on Tuesday for conducting systemic attacks on Ukraine's medical facilities, intentionally directing attacks against a protected hospital is a war crime and perpetrators must be held to account. Joseph M. Suya, acting under Secretary for Humanitarian Affairs, told the emergency meeting. These incidents are part of a deeply concerning pattern of systemic attacks and harming healthcare and other civilian infrastructure across Ukraine, added M. Suya. Russia currently holds the rotating presidency of the Security Council and its envoy to the United Nations, Vasily Nebenzia, indicated this month he will take a firm line with Ukraine and its Western allies. Hundreds of volunteers gathered at the Okhmatyet complex on Monday to help clear rubble and search for survivors. Security officials told AFP that the two people killed at the hospital were both adults, a doctor and a visitor. Kiev's mayor said several bodies have been pulled from the rubble of a housing block in the central district that was also struck in the attack. The total killed in the capital was 33, with 117 wounded according to the latest figures. Ukraine said a Russian AH-101 cruise missile had smashed into the re-owned children's hospital, while Moscow blamed European air defense systems. The Kremlin repeated on Tuesday its claims that Russian forces only target military infrastructure and deferred further questions to the defense ministry. We continue to insist that we do not strike civilian targets, spokesman Dmitry Espokov told reporters at a daily briefing. The UN, however, said there was a high likelihood that the children's hospital in Kiev suffered a direct hit from a missile launched by the Russian Federation. Daniel Bell, head of the UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine, told reporters a deeper investigation was needed, but video footage showed the weapon directly impacting the hospital. Russian attacks on Ukraine persisted overnight, with 2 people wounded in the southern Kherson region and another 3 hurt in the Zaporizhzhia region. Two regions the Kremlin claims are part of Russia. The Russian Defense Ministry also said it had captured the village of Yasnorodivka in eastern Ukraine, near the Russian-held city of Donetsk. The village is the latest in a string of settlements seized in recent weeks as Ukraine's outgunned and outmanned forces struggle to hold off the advancing Russian forces. And good news to all Google users. Google announced it will offer dark web monitoring for all Google users to help you understand and protect your online presence. As the name suggests, the feature will notify you if your sensitive information appears on the dark web. More importantly, it will allow you to remove results that contain personal details. As a result, you can protect your data from potential misuse by shading individuals. It will become available in July 2024 in 46 countries, including the Philippines. And now for the entertainment news, the Grammy Museum will soon launch its first full-floor K-pop exhibit as part of its ongoing initiative to explore the music, culture, technology, fandom, and business behind Korean pop music. The museum partnered with Hippe, the South Korean entertainment company behind K-pop sensation BTS and countless other international acts, and its archivists to provide attendees with an in-depth look at the company's roster and the ways in which they have involved the K-pop landscape. Hippe We Believe in Music, a Grammy Museum exhibit, runs from August 2 to September 15 at the museum in downtown Los Angeles. This is a great one here. Globe pop sensation Big Time Rush is set to captivate fans across Asia this October with the announcement of their highlight anticipated debut tour. The group is set to perform in Manila, Bangkok, and Singapore. They will be performing in Manila at the New Frontier Theater on 17 of October 2024, with tickets ranging from 1,750 to 5,000 pesos. Big Time Rush fan club members get first access to tickets and VIP upgrades beginning on 15 of July, Monday, 10 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. If you're interested in becoming a Big Time Rush Club member, you can head over to BigTimeRushOfficial.com. MasterCard holders have special access to pre-sale tickets in Manila starting from 16 of July, Tuesday, at 10 a.m. to 18th of July Thursday at 10 a.m. Live Nation Philippine members can secure tickets first during the exclusive Live Nation PH pre-sale on 19th of July Friday from 10 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Tickets will be available to the public on 20 July starting at 12 noon by ticketnet.com.ph and its outlets. And finally, Jenny Lynn Mercado and Dennis Trillo announced that they have formally put up their own production company named Brightburn Entertainment. The couple made the announcement by giving a peek into their first official meeting as producers through their Instagram pages on Wednesday, July 10. After 20 years in the industry, Dennis and I are trying on new hats, this time as producers, as we formally put up our production company called Brightburn Entertainment, Mercado said. We are very excited for this and just want to share with you these photos. Our first ever official meeting as a team with no less than Netflix Philippines. She continued, thanking the staff from the streaming service for discussing opportunities they can explore in the future. The actors further shared that there are numbers of partners with their telemanagers Katrina Aguila, John Christoph Enriquez, and Becky Aguila. Watch out for Brightburn Entertainment. And that is it for Cool News at 4. As always, if you have any news tips or feedback you want to send, you can send to us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, we will be back later with Cool News at 6 and Cool News Prime Time at 9. With that, I am Aspir. Good afternoon.